Let's try this one more time. Let's see if we can get connected. I don't know if I had a bad signal or what was going on. Let's go back closer to the house here to do something live with people in the morning to, let's see if we can get back in here. So doing the walk and talk, that's the whole idea. Joined, wave. Let's try it one more time, Steve, if we can get you to join one more time. I'm going back to a better connection. Let's try it one more time. Let's see if we can get connected. Yep, so this is just as the brainstorm started doing these walk and talks in the morning. And let's just try it one more time, see if we can get somebody in. So I'll speak about it, and then if Steve's still hearing this or seeing this, we can invite him to come on live. So we do jam sessions every day, which are ways to get ideas outside of the head, like, inside of the head. And so this becomes a brainstorm, and just want to connect with people who are doing inspiring things and having inspiring thoughts as they're working through, and to be able to share that and sort of create a really impromptu rapid mastermind in the morning. So Steve, I don't know if you're hearing this one, if you can come in, or else I'll just keep rambling for a little bit talking. So what I was thinking about this morning is one, daily checklist. Been doing on post that on product hunt, things that we go through every single day just to get some ideas out of here. And then inspired by kind of Tiago Forte's progressive summarization, we take these things. So we start with a random brainstorm, and the speaking is the easiest way to get ideas out into the world. Like, it's naturally what we do. It's our first way to be able to communicate. We can do speaking while we're doing walking and talking in the morning, and it's a speaking. And then feeling, it depends on kind of how you receive communication, but it can be in the gut feel, or in the it's in the gut feel or whatever it is, and then continue moving forward. So this Instagram live just might end up, let me go back this other direction where we had the dead signal. This Instagram live might just end up as as something out into the world, or it might be something that we do a little bit more work with and turn into something else. So there's the opportunity for serendipity. There's the opportunity for building on something else. And so what we did this morning, we're doing a project. Company is part of a conglomerate doing something called Restarting Together, which is targeting targeting seems in the wrong term, startups that are basically aiding the economy, right, to get better. And now this is targeting a little bit more of advanced stage startups that I'm interested in. I'm interested in that 0 to 1, that bolt of genius, that thing that hits our instinct, that we actually turn into something. So I'm interested in the 0 to 1. So one of the things that I do on a pretty regular basis is go to Product Hunt and look at all the products on Product Hunt every single day, and then like some of those. So there is a way to start to integrate that. Now, Product Hunt is very much at the very early startup stage. I found Otter, which is probably one of my favorite tools right now on Product Hunt. Every once in a while, Tribute, which was one that was pretty exciting, likes the find those things on Product Hunt, and I like them. I pay attention to every one. I read every one. I like a handful of them, and I try a handful of them. And every once in a while, one of those becomes something that is very inspiring. Now I've got an outlet inside the company to share, hey, this is the type of company that is really, that's really inspiring and really something that we want to move forward with. And so that's it, right? It's just trying out a whole bunch of different things, thousands of different things, and then seeing what sticks and what's inspiring and what people might actually respond to on the back end, right? So it's throwing a whole bunch of stuff out there. So speaking is the best way to do it. I like to get a lot of my stuff transcribed. So as I said, I'm just kind of rambling a little bit here, and inside of the speaking for a longer period of time, at some point in time, the subconscious mind takes over. And when the subconscious mind takes over, that's when we get a little bit more free. So I'm still like in this one, I'm still like, messing around. In the audio, I was like, I missed the tech, like the phone went out when Steve was coming on live, missed opportunity, all that stuff sort of kind of gets in the way. But at about 20 minutes in, the subconscious mind starts to take over. And then when the subconscious mind starts to take over, we start to speak. So now how do we get that actually captured, besides like the experience of like, oh, that felt great, or whatever it is, knowing that 99% of the thoughts are random thoughts? Well, then we transcribe on the back end. Otter's a great way. I think I can take this video. So this is an Instagram live. This is going to go out live. X number of people are going to see it. It's going to be less than 100 people are going to probably see this one. And then we'll transcribe it on the back end. So it's not even for the finishing the video. It's for the ideas that might spawn. There's the ideas that might spawn on the back end, like, right, the things that might get inspired when we see the transcription. I'm not going to watch this again. One, it's going to be painful. Like, I judge all of the judge, how do we look, judge that the camera's jumping around a little bit, judge they're not looking at the camera and all that stuff, but can look at grab the audio from this conversation, transcribe it, and then review the transcription, and then see what some of the items, see what pops out as something that could be, let me just make sure my watch is going for the workout here, something that can actually work. So another thing I want to talk about, so the whole purpose of these, I think you can actually see it here. Oh, nope, it's dark on there. Got the workout app going for this walk. One of the things on the daily task list is closing all 3 rings on the Apple Watch, so it's 1,000 calories. So we go on a long walk, and here's another one of the principles. Like, we won regardless. If I don't create anything on this walk, it is just burning the calories, right? We're burning the calories, we're doing some exercise, we're getting out for a walk. Walking is healthy, especially doing a walking like this, like we're looking out into the world. That's a positive thing. I can't remember where I read it or saw it, but it's very difficult to be depressed when you're looking up and actually walking. I can't say that people have clinical, like that's it, but being able to walk and look up into the world, very difficult to be depressed or upset when you're actually doing that. Okay, so we have a win regardless, and then we create, and now we start looking at how do we take this further. So for me, it is very interested in like having my whole all of my work being in walking and talking, like this being everything that I do, where I can do all of the work, don't have to sit behind, which compensates for the fact that I really don't enjoy getting behind a computer. I'm okay with that iPad, but I don't really like sitting down doing the iPad. I do my best thinking with the walking and talking. So there's a couple of different things. One, to do this stuff, to be like, oh, this is a available way to do work for people. That's number one. Number two is, hey, work your way, right? We've got so many different opportunities for most of us, especially knowledge workers, to communicate and to receive communication in different ways. Why not optimize for the way that works the best? So this is the way that works the best. So why do I do this? I broadcast it to share. Number one, hey, think about working a way that works for you. And then number two, anybody who wants to do walking and talking and starting to create this way. Now, I want to start doing with other people. So going on long walks, talking with other people, having conversations, and seeing what comes of it, and what can be created. So what else do I want to say about this one? So yeah, so now sitting around, flipping gears a little bit. So some of the tools that we're doing now, when I go back to some of the work stuff, we've been using Slido, which is really a pleasurable experience for capturing a lot of information and being able to capture it in community, and then it's documented, right? It's when we ask a question out on Slido, we can get a response back. So I've also been playing around with the idea of, like, depending on what mindset we're in, we can actually do a lot of the work ourselves. Steve, I wish Steve, if you can try possibly maybe do it again to see if you can come on live if you're available. You might be getting ready to go. You're probably not getting ready to go anywhere because we're not going anywhere right now. But feel free if you can do that, or if not, we'll work it out for you to come on. I'd love to have just a live conversation with you, catch up, and tell you what you're doing here. So, yeah. So let me go back to the beach. I'll walk with you. I'm actually in. Yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, you can walk live. Let's do that at some point in time. If you can catch this, I'm in a different place. I'm in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. This is our last weekend in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. We're going to be here for a month. I'll walk you down to the water in a second here for the place that we're actually staying. So we decided about a month ago when my wife and I were both on conference calls, and the kids were going nuts. We've got a 7-year-old boy. My daughter adapted pretty well, or not so well. I mean, to being inside the whole time. We're like, we got to get out of the city. So we booked a house in Long Pond for a month. Airbnb does monthlies right now, which is great. It's like, some can be discounted like 50 to 60% over the regular Airbnb prices. This is a great experience. So we're finishing up our first Airbnb in a couple of days, and I'll walk down to the water here in a second. We're finishing up our first Airbnb in a couple of days, and then we're going to another one, and then we're looking at finding I won't call it a permanent home because our permanent home is in Long Island City, but a new temporary permanent home that we're going to be able to move into. So my son has learned to ride a bike in the last month. We get to go for long walks every single day, have no problems with social distancing. So, and then also just from an economic standpoint, if anybody's looking at it, I don't want to say this too loud, but if you are listening at it, we looked all the way from Virginia up through Maine for places to stay. The Pocono Mountains, where we are right now, is by far the most economical for like the value that you get. And especially if you want to do some more of the long-term stays, and from the distance to New York City. The only drawback is there's no train that is accessible, which is why we've stayed around this area for a while. And so this is what we've been doing. So I go for the long walks every single day. Oh man, Steve, I was like, now I kind of want to get back to Long Island City to connect. So, go for the long walks every single day. Started doing some more of the stuff on. There's a deer in the water. See if we can get there. Very cool. A couple of deer in the background here. Don't want to, every time I hold up the phone to them, they get a little freaked out, so I don't like to show them filming them. So that's what we've been doing. We've been in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, so going on the long walks for a while. So kind of back to, so let me kind of go back to the vision that starts actually getting, as I've been doing sort of the walking and talking by myself. What I've been thinking about is we do, at my office, we do jam sessions on a regular, which are basically anti-meetings. Whoever's there is there. Whoever's not there is not there. Which something actually, I remember it was a message from that I learned in the advanced course in 2001, and I just realized that's where I took that from. And we don't come with any particular agenda, and we vote on the topics that we're going to talk about today. Somebody gets about 2 minutes to share a topic, and then we get feedback on that. So they're fun, and we started doing them virtually with some survey software, which has been a lot of fun. And I was just like, I want to start doing jam sessions, a couple of different things. The real inspiration would be to do it over the radio, especially inspired by what some comedian friends are doing. Just do it over the radio, where you just have conversations or guided conversations with people over the radio for a period of time, and doing it walking and talking. So you just have a group of people come on for a couple of minutes and share, and then inside that you form a community of people that can work on something together, right? So it's a group of people who might not necessarily have known each other before that get together, do something together in a short period of time. We form a community. At a minimum, people have a fun experience. At a maximum, you kind of build long-term relationship and create something that is of large impact out into the world. So that's the whole That's the whole vision. That's the whole, or that's not the whole vision. That's what we want to start doing. In the meantime, just doing daily walk and talks on Instagram, just to get some of the ideas that are rattling around. So what's going to happen after this? This video will get saved down. I'll upload part of it to TikTok because I just like including some of the stuff in TikTok. We'll upload part of it there. We'll start to transcribe. We'll look at that transcription of the stuff that was talking about and pull out some of the different ideas. We also can have a word cloud and see what this conversation can actually turn into in the world and see. And it might just be, and then it's just in the process of going through a couple of different steps, taking those words that come out of the mouth that get recorded live, way to connect with people, and then getting them transcribed to see what's actually popping. Like, what are we talking about? It's like there's a word cloud that's like the metadata and the DNA from the stuff, and then which ideas do we actually want to pursue and do something with? And doing something with might be talking about, might be creating a piece of content around, or might be able to create something new. So as we go through a little bit more today, and I'm more inspired to get the system documented. We'll probably do this over a series of videos like this over a period of time, maybe do some of the stuff in Notion, what some of the steps are that we go through with some of the videos. So thanks a lot for everybody. I'm going to call it quits on this one. Have an amazing day. Thanks to those that joined, and thanks that are viewing. Love any comments or feedback. Have an amazing day.